kindergartners. Okay, in today's lesson, or at the beginning of today's lesson, I told you that I wanted you to make sure you gave me a hug at the beginning of next year. So I thought it would be really, really good to give you a story about hugs. Don't forget how important hugs are. Your mom and dad need hugs. You need hugs. Everybody needs hugs. So make sure you remember that, okay? All right, here we go. A book of hugs. I wonder what could be happening in this book. Oh, there's two alligators hugging at the front. I love it. There are all kinds of hugs in the world. There are all kinds of hugs. Puppy hugs. Puppy hugs are very soft and wet. Yes, puppy hugs are very soft and wet. Bear hugs. Bear hugs are very strong. Be careful not to hurt. Gotta be careful with bear hugs. Don't squeeze too tight. That would be not good. Octopus hugs. An octopus hugs with its whole body. Look at that. An octopus hugs with its whole body, even all of its legs. Fish hugs. Fish hugs are very cold and seldom returned. P.S. Never hug a shark. Whatever you do, don't hug a shark. That's a good plan. Fish hugs are very cold because they're cold-blooded, right? Porcupine hugs. Porcupine hugs are done very carefully. Yes, be very careful if you hug a porcupine. Fraidy cat hugs. Fraidy cat hugs make you feel safe. Oh, sometimes we just need a hug because we feel a little scared, and that's okay because it makes us feel safe when we get a hug, and that's true. Piggyback hugs, sometimes called piggyback riding, a good way to travel or to see a parade. Oh, I bet sometimes you remember getting on a piggyback ride with your mom or dad, and that would be a piggyback hug. Mommy hugs. You can never, ever, ever hug a mommy too much. Did you know that? As a matter of fact, right now you should probably stop the story or pause the story and run and give your mommy a hug. Mommies need lots of hugs. Daddy hugs. Hugs are the best when he first walks in the door. I hope you remember that. I hope with the minute your daddy walks in the door, you run up and give him a big hug. And if he's home right now, pause the story, run and give your daddy a big hug. I think he would love that. Brother hugs, usually called buddy hug. Note, a circle of buddy huggers is also called a huddle. Hey, that's like those penguins, remember? But a brother hug, it could be kind of like, you know how Elias and Kemper always called themselves brothers? That would be like a brother hug. Or if you have a real brother, that would be a brother hug. But it's good to have buddies that you hug. Grandpa hugs. Grandpa hugs are sometimes given while sitting. Sometimes is grandpa sitting in his chair and you run up and give him a big hug. Those are good. Grandpa hugs are fun. Grandma hugs. You all know I'm a grandma. I love grandma hugs. Grandma hugs can be found anywhere, but are especially nice in the kitchen. Oh, look at that. She's baking cookies with her. Whoops. She's baking cookies with her grandchildren. That would be so fun. I love grandma hugs. Make sure when you see your grandma, you hug her a lot. Trust me, she likes hugs. Sister hugs, also known as a single arm hug. Single arm hugs are good for when you walk together, even if you aren't sisters. So look, check this out. That's so cute. Those sisters are walking together arm in arm. But they're really not sisters because look, one's a sheep and one's a goat. We can have real sisters and we can just have friends that are sisters. That works too. Baby hugs. Baby hugs are given with a little tickle. Guess what? My middle daughter, is having a baby. I can't wait to give her baby hugs. Aww. Great Aunt Mary hugs. Great Aunt Mary hugs can be given only once a year. You will usually end up with lipstick on your cheek. Sometimes there are people that wear lots of lipstick and you get kisses with lipstick on your cheek. That's kind of silly. Arm hugs. Arm hugs are good if you are too little to get your arms around someone. And that happens. Sometimes little kids or toddlers do that. You couldn't get your hug around this big guy. This little guy couldn't. So he can just give his arm a squeeze. That works. All of these ways are good ways to give hugs. I love them all. Hand hugs, usually called handshakes. Never hand hug with dirty hands unless you both have dirty hands. That's a really good idea. Look at that. They're at tea or at a party. They're shaking hands. You would not want to do that if you had dirty hands. Unless, of course, you were both playing in the mud and you both had dirty hands, or you both were eating dinner and you both had dirty hands. That would work. Knee hugs. Knee hugs are good if you're really, really tall. Warning, never try to knee hug someone who is moving. Well, that would be very dangerous if the person was moving. Now, this one is a funny one. Have you ever seen toddlers in the grocery store, or maybe 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds? This has happened to me where my daughters thought it was me and it wasn't me. So they went into the grocery store and they got close to someone or at a party or something and they went to hug the person. Then they looked up and realized it was the wrong person. That happens to little kids sometimes. It's kind of funny because they're hugging a knee when they figure it out. Their mom is usually watching them right there. Blanket hugs. Everyone needs some kind of a blanket. Hey, blankets are good. Did you have a special blanket when you were a child or when you were a baby? Tree hugs. Some trees are easier to hug than others. Note, if you hug a pine tree too long, you get stuck on it. You would not want to hug a pine tree. They're kind of prickly. But a regular tree, those are really fun to hug. Sometimes we say tree huggers, and tree huggers are people who really, really love the environment. I would like to call myself a tree hugger because I think the environment is very important. Rock hugs. Rock hugs are very hard on your face. Look at that snake. He's sunbathing on a rock. I guess that would be a snake's hug. Ice cube hugs. Ice cube hugs are quite common in February. Look at those two cold penguins. They're giving ice cube hugs. And when you're outside playing and then you come inside in the winter and you're so cold, does your mom give you a big hug to warm you up? That could be like your ice cube hug. Lamppost hugs. A lamppost hug can save you from a painful experience. Look at this. This is a funny one. This little duck is outside and he was going to slip and fall, but he grabbed a hold of the lamppost. Have you ever grabbed a hold of something so you didn't fall? That would be a very good hug to make so you didn't have a painful experience like falling down. Sandwich hugs. The whole family can get into a sandwich hug. Look at that. We call those group hugs in our family. That looks like a really good family hug. Hey, you could pause the tape right now. You could run in there and have your whole family do a big sandwich hug or a family hug. Birthday hugs. A birthday hug is a special present anyone can afford. Birthday hugs are really important. A report card hug. Hey, your report card is going to be mailed out next week, and I bet you will get A hug, B hug, and a C hug. We don't get A, B's, and C's, but no matter what, you'll get a big hug because you did a great job in kindergarten. Hurt hugs. Hurt hugs make the pain go away. Look at that. He hurt his little thumb. Whoops, over here. Hurt his thumb, and then the little mouse is giving him a hug. Oh, that would help him. That's the story of the little mouse and the lion who let him go, and he helped him later. Good night hugs. Also, sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite hugs. Look at that. Aww. Do you get a hug before you go to bed at night? And all hugs are wonderful, but the best hugs of all are I love you hugs. Kindergarten, we might have to give virtual hugs right now, but guess what? Put your arms around each other and pretend like it's a hug from me because I would love to give you a hug right now. Take care, and we'll do some fun things this week. Got lots planned. Bye.